Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm VelvettB, and thanks for joining me today on the speed build. And I like what we did today. I built this on stream, but it's actually for a shell challenge. So thank you very much to Mina Buckner, who created this fantastic shell that we are going to be turning into a lovely contemporary modern one bedroom, one bathroom home for a couple with no kids by the beach in Tartosa. So this is what we're working with. So it's a little 20 by 20 lot on the island in Tartosa. I love this lot. Like, the view from this lot is amazing. So I wanted to give this couple like a lovely home, and I don't know, I was just feeling modernish today, so so that's what I built, something modern. Now, I am fussing around with a flat roof at the moment, and then I realize as I switch it to a residential tiny home, because it had to stay a tiny home of 100 tiles, I realized that by doing the flat roof on top, I'd like broken the 100 tile rule for the flat challenge, for the shell challenge. So I was like, oh. So that required me to get a little bit creative with the roof and how I was bringing that together. So I went with the angled roof on the side, which I haven't really done for a while. I think I did it for a mid-century home recently, I guess, but not for a modern home. So that was cool. But what I'm doing at the moment is just creating like a little balcony kind of sheltered area, and just changing the shape of the build without actually building an additional external wall. Because with the shell challenges, that is one of the big cardinal rules, is that you're not allowed to change the external walls. Like, you can change the height, but you can't change you can't add extra external walls, and you can't change the external walls that are there. So I wasn't allowed to do that. So I'm using some of my very favorite things in this build. So I do love that. And I'm going with the sort of the blacks and a mid brown and a little bit of the stone that comes from Horse Ranch. So yeah, I love that combination. So I was like in my little happy place building this, if I'm being honest. So just adding some little columns just to create like a little bit of a support element around the back. And I think it's been a nice build. It's actually been a while, I think, since I've built a one-story home as well. So that was interesting. I was like, oh, how can I make this, like, the roof look interesting as a one-story home? So yeah, that added an element of fun and difficulty to it too. So I'm using the grown together windows and the greenhouse haven doors, and I'm just creating a pretty basic contemporary style garden around the front. So it's just going to be stones and greenery. So it's going to have your ferns and your grasses, and some little of the little mini cacti. So I didn't really go flowery or anything like that. I just kept it pretty basic as far as the garden goes, but I think it does look effective with the green against the black as well. I think that's really pretty. And I just added some of my favorite tall thin trees, the cypress trees, because I do love them. They're pretty, and they're nice for like kind of slipping in beside little corners and nooks and that sort of thing, just to add a little bit greenery pop beside the house. So around the back I am adding a pool area, and I will get back to that at the end of the build, because I completely forgot as I was building this to do anything else with the pool. Like, I put the pool in and then didn't like add a ladder, didn't add lights, didn't add anything. So I was like, oh, Velvet. Anyway, so this is going to be a barbecue area. So I decided to do something different with the flooring in that area. I thought, just to break up the black a little bit. So I just added, you'll see that coming in. So this is also from the Greenhouse Haven kit. It's the flooring that came with that, which I think is pretty cool. And I'm using the kits, the Desert Luxe kit for the barbecue. So just using that, and the patio stuff pack for the barbecue items there, and the tree as well as from the patio stuff pack, as well as the table going in there. So I decided to just do like a black underneath the table, and then like the checks all around the table. And I thought that was just a neat sort of feature in the backyard. And going back to the Desert Luxe kit, I'm using the lounges from that kit, and then I'm using the little end table that came with Growing Together, because one of the concepts, or one of the ideas that I wanted to embrace with this build was metallic pops. So I was thinking like quite neutral or more sort of monochrome almost, although I didn't really go white. I sort of like blacks and browns and then popping it with the metallic is kind of the idea. And like there's a little touch of white here and there, but then it evolved a little bit as we got inside, which you'll probably see. So I'm using the growing together lights on the outside as well because of the metal on those. So yeah, I was conscious of sort of using those metal touches, and you'll see that all throughout the house as well. So I'm just working out the floor plan at the moment. So it did take me a little bit of thought as to how I wanted to divide up the space, because we only had that 100 tile space. So it is a small home, but I think we used the space really well. So this is going to be the bathroom and laundry, and then it's going to be one bedroom, and then there's going to be the separate living room as you walk into the house, and then kitchen dining in the center of the house. So that's kind of the heart of the home. So the laundry, if you're wondering why the sudden pink, I on stream, someone cashed in, thank you Jared, the next decision is mine. So he decided that I had to choose any room I like, but it had to be all pink. So I chose the smallest room, and it was the laundry. So if you're wondering where that came from, I was not expecting to build with pink in this build. But this ended up being such a good thing for the build, because I had pink in the laundry and I was just like, I couldn't just leave this random pink room in the house. It would just look weird. So you'll see me bring pink into the rest of this build, and I think it just adds such a beautiful touch to the build. I absolutely love how it came out and how pink sort of really popped against the black and the sort of the metals and bits and pieces there. So it ended up being such a cool addition to the build, going with pink. Yeah, I got really excited about that. Like the dining area just looks so good, and I love this bedroom as well. So I'm going with the Modern Luxe pack because it does have those metal trims on it, which is, you know, as I said, I was bringing the metal into the build because I feel like the metal adds that luxe touch to it, and I did want that luxe feel to the house, which is a very modern thing. And also using the decor to the max pack as well. So I've used that in a few places throughout the build because, again, that has that metal touch, so those metal pieces to it, which is great. I was initially going to put a chest table in the corner, and I realized I didn't have a dresser. So like you yeeted the chest table and put in just a little dresser and a mirror in there as well, just to make it a little bit more practical for a bedroom, you know, kind of thing. So then moving on to the bathroom. So we had like a decent amount of space for the bathroom. It's not like a real squishy bathroom. And yeah, once again, I'm sort of bringing that metal in. I was just looking at different mirrors that I could bring in and ended up going with Growing Together mirror, and then one of the locked sinks that you get with base game. Those metals actually work really nicely together. So yeah, I went with those. That's my sort of metal pop, and then I will use the Growing Together shower bath combo as well, again with the metal. So I didn't like add heaps of pink to this room, but again, it's just like little touches of pink, and it just like really popped with the black and the metal. And I really love that Riviera Retreat tile for bathrooms and kitchens. Like, oh, I love that tile. It's gorgeous. So yeah, so I'm just starting to get like the last of the accessories into the bathroom, and then you see that the pink robe, and then we're going to do a pink mat in there as well, and that sort of pops the pink together. Then I realized the pink in the laundry was kind of clashing with the pink in the bathroom, so I wanted to bring in a sort of a slightly more peachy pink, which is the sort of the color that we're using throughout the rest of the house. The lighting did affect things as well, so I changed the lighting in there, and it all worked really nicely. So in the kitchen, because in the bathroom I used the Home Chef Hustle counters, so I'm doing the same again in the kitchen, except rather than using the Home Chef Hustle oven and fridge, I'm using the Growing Together oven and fridge because they have the gold trim. The Home Chef Hustle sink actually works really nicely as far as the trim goes with the Growing Together pack. So I kept the Home Chef Hustle sink, and then I'm using the High School Years table with the Love Strike dining chairs and the High School Years mat with a Love Strike flower. So it's a little combo there, and the Cozy Bistro coffee maker, the For Rent pot thing. I can't remember the name, steamer pot thing, steamer cook, pressure cooker, that's the word, going for in the microwave. Oh my god. So just getting a little bit of clutter around that item, and I'll add like clutter throughout the rest of the kitchen as well. But I love the way that that pink rug and the pink flowers really pop underneath that table in the sort of like a really black room, with the checks and bits and pieces. So that breaks the black up and makes it not so dark, I think. But yeah, it actually looks really fantastic. And then around the other side, after I put this clutter in, I'm actually going to put a little bar area in as well. And then the painting that I choose, oh, chef's kiss. It just goes so perfectly. So when you see that painting go in, it's just like, oh, it made my little velvet heart sing, because it was just like the perfect picture for that area, for that color, for this house. I was just like, it's super modern, and see, look, there we go. It's like with the pink and the blossoms, and it was just so pretty. And I was just like, oh, so good. So I was really excited about that when I put that in, and I was like, oh, just, one of those moments where things sort of come together perfectly. And I was like, oh, I love it. So into the living room now, which is the final room that we're going to build today. And I'm just doing a little entrance area. So decor to the max, console table and everyday clutter, and the growing together mirror as well. So once again, just bringing those metal elements into the build, just the base game coat hanger. And then I'm using the Love Struck mat, because obviously fluffy, gorgeous, pretty. And the Party Essentials TV. I'm also using the Party Essentials light fittings all throughout this. So the little luminescent lights, I love those. There's like, they've got the metal and they're really modern and pretty. And once again, doing decor to the max chairs and the growing together end table there. So, those touches of metal, which I think look really good. Book Nook kit, hello, you're making an appearance. So we're getting a little book shelves in the corner there. I mean, it's a tiny home, so you're never going to fit heaps and heaps in here, but I think we really use the space really well. Just adding a pop of something different with the Love Struck wallpaper on the background, and I thought that was really cool. A few more touches on the outside. Just gonna go and fix that pool, because I didn't do anything with it. I just completely forgot. So just going with the Riviera Retreat stuff, basically, using the lights and the wallpapers and the floaty lounges and the tree, and then adding the grotto rocks as well, the waterfall grotto rocks. Just to add, just a cool little pool feature there. I had the space there in the corner, so why not? So let's take a tour of what we did. So this is how it ended up looking on the outside. So I think it came together really nicely. I love that little barbecue area. And of course the pool is gorgeous, because Riviera Retreat, and we've got the little grotto rocks, little touches of metal. And then going inside, once again, as I said, that pink, just like super, super nice. It popped so well against the black, and I think it just brought so much life to the build, and I absolutely love how it came together. And I love the luxe element of all the metals as well. Oh, just look at that. Look at that. I love that. Oh, it's so pretty with the painting and like the rug and the flowers. Sorry, I'm not over it yet. I'm really not. And I just love that kitchen. I know black kitchens aren't for everyone, but I adore them. So, sorry, not sorry. And then going into the bathroom, so the little pops of metal, little pops of pink, and you sort of see the lights there hanging down. And then into the bedroom, so going with the modern luxe pack there, and really taking advantage of the lovely design of that pack, because it's absolutely gorgeous. So thank you so much for joining me for this speed build. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you, Mina, for hosting the shell challenge. Catch you guys later. Bye bye.